Jamie McMurray, you gotta love the story. Great storyline. Jamie McMurray back with his old guys, winning. Emotional. I have never seen a guy this emotional. Beautiful finish. I mean, where did Dale Earnhardt Jr. come from? What happened to Kevin Harvick? What was going on those last few laps? NASCAR got to use that green, white, checkered the second time around. Greg Biffle didn't know what was going on. Dale Jr. said, hey, I don't know. I just keep driving to wherever they weren't. Jimmy said, I saw Dale Jr. coming up in the rearview mirror. Said, oh, man, I tell you, the guy's won a lot of races here. The whole Earnhardt mystique about Daytona, didn't know what to expect. Then he saw the flag, and it was over. And Jamie McMurray wins the Daytona 500. Mike Mullen from MikeMullen.net. And was this a day to remember? This was a day to remember. This was a day to forget. Robin Bragg, the guy who runs the track for the France family, oh, he was a little embarrassed. 2.5 hours they spent trying to fix a pothole. A pothole. The race was going along nice and smooth, 2 hours, just starting to get a little interesting. Then all of a sudden this huge pothole developed down to 1 and 2. So they had to try and fix it. And it took like an hour and a half to try and figure out how to fix it because it was like 53 degrees and the asphalt wouldn't seal, and so they couldn't get it fixed. And we're sitting on pit road and we're watching the TV channels getting clicked, click, click, people falling off the side of the rafters, changing the channel, going somewhere else. I tell you, it didn't look good for a while. And then they came back, raced some more, looking good. Then the pothole got bigger. Oh, and then they had to stop for another 45 minutes or so to fix it again. It was a day to remember and a day to forget at Daytona International Speedway. In the end, 35 laps to go. I tell you, it was a heck of a finish. One hell of a finish. I couldn't remember what was going on. I thought Kevin Harvick had it in the bag. I mean, he was leading, had the best car. Gets snookered on the restart, on one restart, on two restarts. I'm still trying to sort it all out. The next thing I know is Greg Biffle is pushing Jamie McMurray, and the next thing you know is Kevin Harvick is fading, and the next thing you know is Dale Earnhardt Jr. is sailing up through the pack. He was 22nd on the first green, white, checkered. He was 10th on the second green, white, checkered, and almost won the race. Lost by 2 car lengths to Jamie McMurray. A heck of a finish. Brian France got what he wanted. Excitement. The trouble is, it took 6.5 hours to get the race done. Good thing they started at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was a long day at Daytona International Speedway, but one heck of a finish. I think it was a good start. If you hung around, you saw one heck of a race. A lot of good action, especially the last hour or so. Despite the pothole, and now the question is NASCAR going to demand that they repair the track and repave it? This track has not been paved or repaved since 1978. 1978. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was barely 4 years old the last time this place, right over here, had new asphalt. Drivers really don't want to change the asphalt because if you put down new asphalt on this track, it's going to be lightning fast. Remember Atlanta a couple of years ago? 200 miles an hour. Repaving means fast action. Drivers don't like that. They like to bump and grind and move around and slip and slide and get a little wear on the tires. Goodyear doesn't think they want to see repavement out here either. But you can't have a 2.5 hour delay because of potholes. They got to fix the track. Take the bumps out. I think that was a major mistake that NASCAR let Daytona International Speedway get away with 2 or 3 years ago when they repaved Talladega. They should have brought that whole crew over here from Alabama and done this place too. Then they wouldn't have had the problem today. Great racing. Problems on the racetrack. Now they've got to think about, do they want to repave or not? $20 million, maybe $25 million. Maybe they should do some parabolic curving in the corners here like they did at Homestead. Maybe they should think about redoing the racetrack and redesigning the racetrack while they're going to do that. It's going to take a major ordeal to get this thing done, but they can't afford to have a fiasco like they had with the potholes today. But it was one heck of a finish, one heck of a race. Jamie McMurray beating Dale Earnhardt Jr. Hey, I'd have bought tickets to this thing. Mike Mullen for MikeMullen.net. Daytona International Speedway and Jamie McMurray wins, beating Dale Earnhardt Jr. And now it's California.